Hey people, let's take a look at the Planet Eclipse LVR today. I already did kind of my settings video and shot it a little bit. Got a few cases through it now. I thought I'd give my first impressions. This is by no means an in-depth review. I like to get a lot more trigger time behind a gun before I'll give it kind of a full review of my thoughts. So my thoughts that you'll hear now will evolve over time as I use the gun. Packaging wise, you get the same thing as an LV 1.1 and LV1. I've got some extra items in here like grease, some batteries. Obviously those don't come with it, but we won't go through the packaging. You do get the very nice Shaft FL barrel kit. I did kind of a full review and comparison to other barrels on the market. Check that out. It's in the channel somewhere. Go search for it. Pull the gun out. Set all this lovely stuff to the side. So here she is, Planet Eclipse LVR. Mine's the Midnight colorway. There are some of these still left for sale. Not on the Planet Eclipse website, but like A&S Gear has some. Still, I think last time I checked they had Midnight and like the Midnight Green Shadow combination where the accent pieces are like a glossy green color. Yeah, so there are still a few of the 500 they made up for grabs. Differences between the LVR and the LV 1.1. Essentially, it's just kind of a more limited milling. So they've cut out the body more. They've gone deeper into the body to try and reduce weight. This portion where the bolt goes in, they've made it a straight cut instead of the kind of slanted milling that was on that before. They've also kind of taken these rear lines that are on the CSR and put them on the LVR. So just kind of some little designs cut out of the back there. And you know, they didn't mill out the pops like they do on the CSR. They mill that out significantly on the CSR. They don't do that on the LVR, kind of as a cost reduction. This gun is significantly cheaper for the R model than the CSR is. Other than that, between an LV 1.1 and an LVR, they're mechanically, internally, basically the same gun. Between a 1.1 and an LV1, they increase the size of the LVR chamber. Theoretically, we can reduce our pressures with that and get a softer shot. A lot of people say if you compare the LV1 and the LV 1.1, you don't really notice a difference. But I don't have a ton of experience with the LV platform, so I can't say. That's just what I've heard. They've gone to a one-piece foregrip between the 1.1 and the LV1. I don't know. I didn't really shoot any guns that have the two-piece foregrip, so supposedly this is to stop kind of it from turning side to side. Once again, I don't know. I don't have experience with that two-piece foregrip, but you can't use kind of those color options with the two-piece foregrip. They won't fit on with the larger LVR. So you're stuck with the one-piece foregrip, and I don't believe they make different colors for the foregrip, the one-piece version. So let's start kind of what I do in my reviews. We start at the bottom and move our way up. The Pops ASA. I am a huge fan of the Pops ASA. I think right now, out of the ASAs that I have experience with, it is the best on the market. Essentially, you just pop that rail in, and then when you want to degas your gun, press that button, and it kind of shoots forward on its own. What I like about this, it's really easy to engage. If you have like paint on it, you got shot around your ASA, you have paint on your hands, you have grease on your hands, it's super easy to engage still. Compared to like lever type ASAs, it doesn't have, you know, anything kind of hanging out when it's degassed. So with the lever, you have obviously a lever hanging around down there when you degas. So if you want to leave your tank on, you have that lever hanging out that can get caught on stuff. It's not that big of a deal, but high-end guns, you kind of have to get nitpicky and find out what you like, because they're all very good in my opinion. So yeah, Pops ASA, I really like. I don't have problems with my Ninja Reg with the Pops ASA. A lot of people do have it with that ball bearing reg. I have the shims removed out of my Ninja tank, and it engages no problem. So maybe that's a fix for you if you have problems with the Pops ASA and the ball bearing reg. Just remove your shims. Most high-end guns can run on that lower pressure. Ergonomics. Ergonomics are definitely different. I would think, like, one of the main things they did with the LV platform was internalize that LPR chamber. And I would think that would make me want to kind of hold it up higher and wrap my thumb around the barrel like I do with other guns. But that just feels kind of strange. I'm going to throw a barrel on here. Yeah, that just doesn't feel quite right to me. Yeah, so when I put my hand kind of up high like that, it feels like my backhand is very low and my front hand is very high. So more naturally, I kind of grip around that front grip, which I don't do with other guns. So, you know, I think they internalized the LPR because that's what people wanted, but for me, I don't think it really makes a difference. I don't mind the AT pipe. My hand does feel the AT pipe being there, but I don't think it throws anything off in any way. The grips are definitely bulky, and I'm not the biggest fan of like rubberized grips in general, but these are very comfortable. I think aesthetically they kind of throw the look of the gun off a little bit. Like the body is really nicely, or it has nice clean lines, and then you have kind of this big chunky foregrip, and it does kind of make it look a little odd, but is very comfortable. This is one of the only guns, like I told you, I hold other guns kind of up here with my left hand, but then when I switch to my right hand, on the front grip, it likes to grasp low on those guns and grip all the way around. So this, for me, when I change hands, my hands go in the same position naturally. This is something odd about me personally. When I grip guns with my right hand on the fore position, I grip, you know, kind of wrapped around with my thumb, and when I use my left hand, it grips around the top. I don't know. So with this gun, when I switch right to left, my hands like to hit the same position. And that's just me. So I like the ergonomics of the grips. I think the grips kind of maybe look chunky, don't look the best on this gun, but they work very well. Back cap is completely toolless. That is a big plus. You just unscrew it there and get your ram out. So the basic maintenance on this is super simple. You just pull that ram out, pull your bolt out, obviously. Bolt out. And put some oil on those O-rings. Just use the oil that you get with the gun. Yeah, super simple basic maintenance, and then, you know, fairly unfrequently you got to do reg maintenance, but that's what all guns require. So nothing crazy there. Feed neck. Aesthetically, I don't like this thumb wheel. I think it's like clunky. It's not visually appealing, but it is nice to have because you can adjust it without having to, like on a lot of guns, you undo the feed neck lever and you spin it around, and that's kind of frustrating. So this one you can just undo it, tighten the wheel, or even tighten the wheel with it closed. But the wheel just, ugh. I don't like the way it looks. I wish it was smaller. I wish it was not shiny like the screws. I don't know. Just doesn't look quite right to me. But no issues with the feed neck whatsoever. Let's go into shot quality, I guess is next. Yeah, I went over my settings. I have this tuned down to try and make it smoother, and it is very smooth. I was always kind of skeptical that the LV Poppet could shoot like a spool, because when you pick up someone else's gun and you shoot it, you don't necessarily know how they've tuned it, and you can really tune this to either be really efficient and kind of have some more kick, which gives you that traditional Poppet feel, or you can really tune it down to make it spool smooth. And efficiency wise, with it spool smooth, it kind of gets that high-end spool efficiency. So something like the Geo, where it kind of hits around 10 pods, I feel like that's about what I'm getting. I haven't really tested it enough, but maybe I'm getting a little higher. But if you open up the SFRs, you can definitely make this super efficient. There are more efficient poppets, like the G6R is probably more efficient. I'm just going out on a limb there because that gun is insanely efficient, but yeah, that's kind of one of the biggest selling points in my opinion on this gun, is how adjustable it is. I really do a lot with it. Let's talk trigger. I really like this Planet Eclipse trigger. I know a lot of people swap their triggers out for like violent stuff, but this one's super snappy. I find it really easy to walk. The only thing I did out of the box was reduce the amount of trigger pull, or the length of the trigger pull, because it was out pretty far. Yeah, I've got no issues with it. I have a deuce trigger on a lot of guns, so I may just swap it out so it kind of feels the same. Yeah, I like the trigger. Let's talk board. A lot of people bash Planet Eclipse board. You do get that nice little LVR boot up screen, kind of cool. The board is really simple. You get the LCD screen, which, you know, you can love it or hate it, but it does the same thing. It has all the settings you need. They've put the LCD screen in their guns because it's cheaper to replace. OLED boards are insanely expensive. You know, you talk about when the Clone GT for Mac Dev, the screens used to go out. The new board with the new screen is like $180. It's insane. So I like that they kind of try to make things cheaper for their customer if there are problems, which I wouldn't expect there to be problems. But yeah, I mean, like the M2, it's what I'd really like to have on this gun would be like pressure sensors like the M2 has. That gun obviously probably has the best electronics package in paintball right now. It is significantly newer. Like, this is the same design that's been being used since 2013. What else? Let's talk. There's a lot of speculation, and we can talk till we're blue in the face about the LV2. I will say this is the first gun that I've bought new. I tend to look for guns in like the $500 or less range and buy them used because they don't depreciate, or I don't lose my money as fast. Obviously, if they come in good condition, I don't have any issues with them. This is the first gun I bought new. $1,200, that's a lot of money. For me, maybe not for other people. I know people that buy a new $1,500 gun every year. Why did I feel it was justified to spend that much money? Everything that I see from Planet Eclipse on like PB Nation forums doesn't suggest that they are making a new poppet gun anytime soon. Everyone says, you know, let's make it with the 2 AA batteries in the front, like on the CS1. You know, change out to make it toolless side covers. All kinds of things that could be done, but I think Jack Wood has said that he would have to redesign the entire frame. The gun would not be as thin as it is. I think that's definitely a big asset of this gun, is it's nice and thin. Yeah, it seems to me like everything that Planet Eclipse is saying doesn't suggest that they're making an LV2 anytime soon, so I thought the custom milling on this would kind of hold its value pretty well. You also do get the really nice barrel kit. I mean, the LV 1.1 right now was like $1,000. So $1,200 for the LVR. You get the custom milling. You get this $220 barrel kit. Yeah, to me it was worth it. I feel like this gun's probably going to hold its value pretty well. There you go. That is the LVR. Stay tuned. I'm going to be shooting this a lot. You'll probably see, you know, gameplay footage of me shooting this, and I will do kind of my updated thoughts on the gun in the future. So subscribe to the channel. check out our other videos. Give us a like if you like the video. Comment below if you have questions or comments about this gun or anything paintball related. Why not? I'll take the time to answer it. Yeah, stay tuned.